Welcome everybody to ESPN's PTI SBC edition. I'm Mitchell Bernstein here alongside
Nicholas Pallone
and Will Christie.
And we're here today to talk about the NBA Finals with major moves coming in from the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Now let's first start off with a very complicated question, which is about the Finals MVP choice. Now let's start off with you, Nicholas. Now who do you think is going to be the Finals MVP pick this year?
Well, to be completely honest, I feel that the Celtics are still going to win this series in 7 games. So, in my defense, I feel like the Finals MVP is going to come from these 2 games, deciding games. So these 2 games are they're gonna be rough because the Warriors believe that they can win in 6 and 7. So it's gonna be rough to allow the Jason Tatum show and the Jaylen Brown show to really improve over the next 2 games, and we're gonna have to see that.
100%. Now, Will, do you think that Tatum or Brown are going to win it, or is someone else from Golden State, like Curry or Clay, going to get it?
I think this is a pretty easy question. I think the Warriors are going to win the Finals in 6, maybe 7 games. I don't think it will go to 7. But I think Curry is the clear cut for MVP this season, or Finals MVP. He's been averaging 30 points per game in the playoffs. Yeah, he had a bad game in Game 5, but still, if you see how he's been playing this series, he's just been incredible, and he's been unconscious, especially in Game 4, dropping 43 on the road in a huge Game 4 at Boston.
Definitely a great take. Now let's move into our PTI segment called Futures, sponsored by Sports Broadcasting Camp. Now let's move into the future effects of this NBA Finals. Now, boys, do you think that if Boston or Golden State win, is this going to affect future moves and some path and roster changes?
Well, I believe it will, because if the Celtics don't win, I feel that their run to the finals was a way easier run than any other team that had to go to the finals, because let's see, they played the Bucks with no Middleton, who's arguably their second best player, who averages well over 20 points alongside Giannis. The Nets were struggling with injuries the whole season, and all the controversy with Ben Simmons and everything. If he played, I feel like this would have been a different series. Alongside Durant, Kyrie shuffling through injuries, and now having Joe Harris, who I believe is a very big person to have on the team in the playoffs. And also the Miami Heat, who they beat in 7 barely with a Jimmy Butler last-second shot. I feel that the Heat, the Bucks, and the Nets were all in the injury-prone list, and the Celtics, I feel, were pretty healthy majority of the playoffs. So I feel like if the Celtics don't win this year, they're not going to win for a while.
Great points made by Nicholas. Now, Will, do you negate that?
I think with the future changes, if the Warriors somehow don't win the series, I think they're going to be in big need of getting a center, a real center. I think Kevon Looney just isn't going to cut it, because if you see the Celtics game plan, they get to the basket a lot, and you need a real center. Like back a few years back in the season where they lost to the Toronto Raptors in the finals, they signed DeMarcus Cousins. Of course, DeMarcus Cousins didn't play to where they wanted him to, but that was a really good pickup. And I think the Warriors could sign potential free agents such as like Andre Drummond, or get someone in a trade.
A really good pick from DeMarcus Cousins indeed. Now that's going to be the end of the segment, the future segment, sponsored specifically by Play-by-Play Sports Broadcasting Camps. You could sign up for the best camp in the country. Once again, that's going to be out of time here on ESPN's PTI SBC edition. Once again, I'm your host, Mitchell Bernstein, here alongside Nicholas
Pallone
and Will.
And that's going to be it. Thank you for tuning in.